morning class. In previous video we were talking about clause. Now we have to take up the topic types of clause. So there are three types of clause. Types of clause. Okay, there are three types of clause. First one is independent clause. First one is independent clause or principal clause. Second one is dependent clause. This is dependent clause or subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. And the last one is coordinate clause. Am I clear? We have to study these three types of clause: independent clause, dependent clause and coordinate clause. So let's begin with the first one. Wait. So first one is independent clause. So what is this? What is independent clause? These clauses have a finite verb and make complete sense. So these independent clause, what do they have? They have two things: finite verbs and they make complete sense. When a sentence is formed, they make a complete sense and they can stand on their own. Okay, if a sentence is making a complete sense, then it means they can stand on their own. When a sentence has only one main clause, then the clause itself is the sentence. When a sentence has only one main clause, then the clause itself is the sentence. For example, what's the example given here? I sang a song. So this is an independent clause. Why? Because sang is the finite verb. I hope it's visible. Wait. Sang is an finite verb. And this sentence in itself making a complete sense. It doesn't require any other help. And this consists of only one main clause. Am I clear? One main clause. Okay. One main clause is there. So let's move on to the another type of clause. What is that? That is dependent clause. Okay, its name only suggests that this depends on others. So depends on the others means doesn't make complete sense. It would also have finite verb. Okay, it could also have finite verb. So see, these are clause. These clauses are the ones that have finite verb, but do not make complete sense of their own. They make sense only when they are attached to independent clause. So they are attached to independent clause. Without them, without independent clause, this doesn't mean make any sense. For example, I like music. Okay, so I like music is an independent clause. It has a verb, it is making a complete sense, it doesn't require anything else to make it complete. But if we say, I like music which is composed by A.R. Yes, A.R. Rahman. So if we say this, then which is composed by A.R. Rahman, this sentence doesn't make a complete sense. Though it has a finite verb, but if we say, if we just say, which is composed by A.R. Rahman, does this sentence mean anything? No. Is it giving any complete information? No. So we have to add, we have to attach independent clause to it to make it, to give it so that this sentence could give us a complete meaning to it. So if we say I like music which is composed by A.R. Rahman. So now this sentence gives us a complete meaning. Now this which is composed by A.R. Rahman give us some sense. Okay. So this type of sentence is called dependent clause, in which sentence doesn't make complete sense, and it requires independent clause to give a complete meaning. Am I clear? Let's move on to the third clause. Third clause is coordinate clause. So what is coordinate clause? This is also very simple. Often in sentence, there are two or more clauses which are combined together by a conjunction called coordinating conjunctions. Each clause in such a sentence is of equal importance and can stand on its own. Such clauses are called coordinating clause. So in this, there are two or more main clause is there, and they are attached with a conjunction. They are joined together with a conjunction, and such type of clause is called coordinating clause. Two or more main clause. Each clause is of equal importance. And the last point is they are attached or joined together by what? By a conjunction. Am I clear? Now let's move on to the example. For example, let me erase. So, for example, I like music and I enjoy spending time with friends. Okay, so see, students, I like music. This is one sentence. It's giving you a complete meaning. If I write I like music as one sentence, and second, I enjoy spending time with my friends. With friends. So these two are two complete and two different sentences. So we can say that these are the IC or the main clause. And if these two are IC, are independent clause, so these two are joined together by a conjunction. By a conjunction called and. Okay. So two different sentences with two main verbs having equal importance are joined together by a conjunction. So these type of sentence are called coordinating clause. Am I clear, students? Now let's see. Okay, let's move on to the exercise A. Identify the main. So identify the main clauses, subordinate clauses and coordinate clauses. Wherever they occur, the first one has been done for you. You can't come in while we are having lunch. So first one is our independent clause. You can't come in is independent clause, or you can say the main clause. Okay, you can't come in is a complete sentence, is giving a complete meaning, so it is a main clause. While we are having our lunch, this is what? This is subordinating clause. Okay, this is subordinate clause because this sentence is not giving us a complete meaning. In this main clause is needed to be attached. Okay, without the main clause, meaning of this sentence won't make any sense. Am I clear? Now, question number 2, part 2. Use the paintbrush carefully as I showed you yesterday. So, use the paintbrush carefully. This would be main clause. Main clause would be use the paintbrush carefully. Okay. And I bought the pens. So what is this? I bought the pens. Sorry. As I showed you yesterday. So as I showed you yesterday, is it giving us a complete sense? No, it isn't. If we break this sentence and just say I showed you yesterday, this sentence is not giving us a proper meaning, a complete meaning. So this would be a subordinate clause. Okay. So the next one would be subordinate clause. Third, Anu bought the pencils and I bought the pens. So what is this? This is a coordinate clause because there are two main clauses joined together by a conjunction. So the third one is coordinate clause. Am I clear? The third one is coordinate clause. Fourth, I wanted to watch a movie, but my brother was keen to watch a play. So what is happening in this? I wanted to watch a movie. This is the main clause. Okay. This is making a complete sense. So it becomes the main clause. And but my brother was keen to watch a play. So this is another sentence. My brother was keen to watch a play. This is another main clause. And but is the what? Conjunction. So this fourth one is again a coordinate clause. Okay class? Please take down the screenshot. The second one has two answers, main clause and subordinate clause. Third one has coordinate clause and fourth one has coordinate clause. Okay? Now, the fifth one. Mary had a nice basket full of toys. So, Mary had a nice basket full of toys. So, this is making a complete sentence. So, this becomes the main clause. Okay? There is no another sentence or anything. So, this becomes the main clause. Now, the last one. The car had a puncture, so I reached office late. So the answer would be the car had a puncture. So this is a subordinate clause. This becomes the subordinate clause. And so I reached office late becomes the main clause. Because if we don't add this, so I reached office late, this sentence doesn't provide us a complete meaning, doesn't provide us a complete sense. So in this last one, we need to attach the main clause. Am I clear? Please take down the screenshot. Okay. Now, let's move on to just like a phrase, a clause can act as an adjective, adverb or as a noun. So, let's study what a noun clause is. The next heading would be noun clause. So what is a noun clause? A clause that acts as a noun in a sentence is a clause that acts as a noun in a sentence. Okay, students. So, for example, Ram listened to music. Ram listened to, sorry. Ram listened to what was told. So, example, Ram listened to what was told. Okay. So here, what? What is the subject? And was told is the finite verb. Here, the group of words printed in bold answer the question. Listen to what? It's like a noun. It has subject and finite verb. So it is a noun clause. Means you ask the question, listen to what? So when you ask this question, it acts like a noun. For example, he listened to all that. This is the noun phrase. He told them to wait. Noun phrase. She found out the secret. The secret becomes a noun phrase. The words printed in bold in sentence also answers the question listen to what, but it does not have finite verb. So it is noun phrase. In sentence B, C, the noun phrase to wait and the secret. A noun clause may perform the role of subject, object or complement in a sentence. Example, that he is your friend. That he is your friend was unknown to me. So this is a noun clause. Now some of the features of noun clause would be a noun clause acts like a noun. It may be the subject of a verb or the object of the verb. Okay. This may be the subject of the verb or the object of the verb. Example, that incident would happen was certain. So, the incident would happen, this is the subject, and was certain in this was become the verb. He told me that the trip was cancelled. So he told become the verb, and the trip was cancelled becomes the object. It is introduced that question words like why or what, it may be introduced with words like if or whether. So here are some examples of noun clause. Who will go is not certain. What is not certain? And you get the noun clause. You ask the question, what is not certain? And you get the answer as noun clause. I forgot what you asked me. So what you asked me is the noun clause. So now let's move on to the exercise. Exercise number B. Underline the noun clauses in the following sentence. First, she says that she has forgotten the key at home. So, in this, the noun clause would be that she has forgotten the keys at home. Okay, you would ask the question what she has forgotten at home. Now, the second part, he wants to know why she has been dismissed. So again the noun clause would be why he has been dismissed. The third one is I promise that your dues will be cleared. What will be cleared? Your dues will be cleared. So the noun clause becomes that your dues will be cleared. Okay, students. Now the second last, fourth one, finding that he was not at home, I went to the nearby park in search of him. So the noun clause would become that he was not at home. Okay. And the last one, fifth, how the puppies got lost is a mystery. So the noun clause here would be how the puppies got lost. How the puppies got lost. Okay, students. Please take down the screenshot. Please take down the screenshot, students. Now, our next subtopic would be adjective clause. So, what happens in adjective clause? A clause that acts as an adjective in a sentence is called adjective clause. Okay? It is often a relative clause describing some noun or pronoun. For example, okay, we can also, another definition is, the adjective clause can qualify any noun or pronoun in a sentence and is placed nearest to the word it qualifies. For example, the girl who is sitting on the last bench is my sister. So, here the girl who is sitting on the last bench is my sister. So here we are talking about the girl and we are also, okay, the sentence is not coming on the screen. Okay, the girl who is sitting on the last bench is my sister. So he is describing his sister. Girl who is sitting on the last bench. Okay. So he is describing, in this, girl is being described. So this becomes the adjective clause. This becomes the adjective clause. Now, some of the features are an adjective clause describes a noun or pronoun. It is introduced by whom, whose, who, which, or that. An adjective clause should be placed as close as possible to the noun it describes. The introducing word of such a clause may be omitted sometime. This is the bag you were asking for. Here, that is omitted. Okay. This is the bag that you were asking for. So in this, that is omitted. So the sentence becomes, this is the bag you were looking for. Now some more examples of adjective clause is, the boy who wore a white t-shirt was the winner. So you are describing the quality of the boy who wore a white shirt is the winner or was the winner. Now second, he was the boy who helped her. So who was that boy? Who helped her. So who helped her becomes the adjective clause. The girl who wore the dress that John gave her. So that John gave her becomes adjective clause. We went to the park which has tall trees. So which has tall trees. You are describing about the park. There are many parks, but you went to which park? Which has tall trees. The last example is, the principal gave the prize to Mary, who was the winner. So who got the prize? Mary. And why did she got the prize? Because she was the winner. Okay. Now let's do the exercise. We have done. Okay, we have missed one exercise, beta. We have missed one exercise, that is C. We have missed the C part. Okay. State whether the words in bold form a noun clause or a noun phrase. So, first one, she knew that he was unwell. So, he was unwell becomes the noun clause. Okay. Wait a second. First one becomes the noun clause. Second, she knew of his sickness. So, she knew of his sickness becomes the noun phrase. Third one, he told me that he was the new captain of the team. So, that he was the new captain of the team becomes the noun clause. Fourth, he told me of his selection as the new captain of the team. So, he told me of his selection as the new captain of the team. So, of his selection becomes the phrase, noun phrase. You have to write the complete words, not like this. Noun clause, noun phrase, noun clause, noun phrase. Okay? You won't use such pattern. You won't write answer in such pattern. So the last one is, I wanted a clear answer. So a clear answer again becomes the noun phrase. Am I clear? Students, now please take down the screenshot. Okay, now let's move on to the B part of the exercise. Underline the adjective clause in each sentence. The girl who is wearing a red ribbon is my sister. So you are describing the girl, you are modifying the girl, and the noun clause becomes who is wearing a red ribbon. The next one is, my mother wore the sari which I gave her. So the answer becomes which I gave her. Okay, you are talking about that particular sari, not just a sari. He was the prince who married Cinderella. So, who married Cinderella? So this becomes the adjective clause. Okay, this becomes the adjective clause. Now the fourth one is we went to the hall which had big stage. So you went to which hall? Which had a big stage. Okay. Next, fifth one. We sent a letter to our friend who stays abroad. So you are sending a letter to your friend who stays abroad. Now the last one. My friend brought me the cake that she had baked. So that she had baked. This all becomes the adjective clause. Okay? All these becomes the adjective clause. Am I clear, students? Please take down the screenshot. I hope you have taken down the screenshot, students. So in the next class, we will be talking about adverb clause. So you should know what an adverb clause is. Okay? What an adverb clause is. Adverb clause, a clause that acts as an adverb in a sentence. Acts as a adverb in a sentence. So we would be taking the example, when I returned home, I found my dog missing. So when I returned home becomes the adverb clause. Okay? When I returned home becomes the adverb clause. So students, we would continue this chapter in the next class. Then we would be completing this chapter, and we would also be talking about types of adverb clause, and we would continue with the exercise. Okay? Till then, bye bye. Take care.